What is up, everybody? This is yours truly, Esports Machina, and today I'm gonna be doing the knockout stage for the World 2017 Championship. But before I jump into the knockout stage, I do want to talk about some of my group stage picks that I did on the previous video, which was actually kind of got a lot of views, very popular video. So let's kind of go like group by group. So Group A was obviously, well, I got two right, so I put SK Telecom on, and they went 5-1. They were actually kind of shaky. They were really shaky at last MSI2, and kind of showed a very weak performance generally. Like, even on some of the games that they won, especially the first game against EDG and one game against AHQ, they were close losing those games. They could have definitely gone like 3-3. On end of the day, there was actually a chance that they would have gone into the tiebreaker. I don't think that this, even though it looks very convincing that they only dropped the one game, I was pretty sloppy performance from SK Telecom. And Edward Gaming, I've obviously put them as second. Had a horrible first week. They shit the bed. But obviously, going into expectations, they were indeed the first seed from China. And Cloud9 was like the third seed, and AHQ and LMS in general has been doing kind of bad. And AHQ, they could have made it through. I think they just did some bad macro decisions and lost. So I got two right, and obviously there was a tiebreaker between Cloud9 and Edward Gaming, which also could have gone either way. And if Edward would have won, we would have a perfect row in here. So obviously I'm sorry that, I didn't get a perfect row. But understanding this, that getting a perfect row, getting the knockout stage and the groups right is so hard. I've only done, I think it was the first year that they were doing it. I got everything wrong except one thing. I think I predicted the final wrong, where I chose Royal over Samsung, which, I had very a big bias against Samsung back then. But let's move to Group B, and this was really very well. Also, I got as you can see, I got only one right. Longzhu were very convincing. They stomped the thing. They went 6-0, and only one game they were really close to losing. And Fnatic obviously was the second. And the thing is, Fnatic, even on the play-in stage, I don't think that they necessarily would have won if they would have gone against Fenerbahce. Instead of Hong Kong Esports, Hong Kong Academy, or whatever is the team's name. So I think they got really lucky to even make it to the Worlds in the group stage. And you look at every win that Fnatic managed to do, they were really bad. They were really, really bad. And guys, people, oh, you're fucking American. I'm an European, okay? But I think Fnatic really fucking shit the bed, even on the games. I don't think the best team went through here. I think Immortals or even Gigabyte Marines should have made it through through the Group B, because I think Fnatic were really fucking sloppy. Even on the games they won, they barely won. And when they lost, they got fucking crushed and smashed. There was a single close and clean win by Fnatic. I think there was a one game that they showed some promise, but I think overall they played fucking bad. So I stand by my statement that, this is probably what it should have been. Maybe Gigabyte Mario should have been actually the third, as they really were. And I maybe discredited them. They're a really good team, very enjoyable to watch and all that. But let's move on. So then we have Group C. And Samsung, obviously, I put them as first. And, maybe I downplayed Royal, because Royal actually was the second seed. Samsung was the third seed. And this was also a one game, once again, that could have set this group as a perfect. I obviously predicted G2A and Fenerbahce. This was kind of easy group to predict, to be honest. And finally, we have the last group, and I do have to admit that I did a very grave error on the scoring on this one, because obviously I put Flash Wolves as first. And they pretty much shit the bed, okay? They pretty much shit the bed. There's no... I mean, they didn't get smashed on every game. I think they had some close games, but they just didn't manage the thing. And I have to say, the whole Group D, I wasn't really logical about it. I didn't really think very smartly about it, how it would go out. Obviously, I did predict that TSM would get knocked out, though. So in that case, I'm right. And obviously, now people may be thinking because of the low scoring, you shouldn't listen to what I have for the knockout stage. But, it's because you don't get to see the teams actually play. And now you can actually look up some statistics. And obviously, I didn't do much background research as I did last year about this. But I think I'm going to get this thing right. And hopefully you're going to agree with me. And obviously there's some people who are just, for the points. So you're not going to even watch the games or don't know anything. So better leave with me. So the first game is SK Telecom versus Misfits. SK Telecom is going to win. There's a chance that Misfits could take with some cheese strats a couple of games, maybe 1 or 2. But they have to really go theory crafting on this thing. I think they have pretty good laners. Maybe the bot lane in SK Telecom is much better than the Misfits one. I think if Power of Evil has some cheese picks, maybe he will surprise Faker. The top laner, Alfari or whatever his name, is pretty decent. I think he can match up to Huni. And the jungles, depending on which jungle SK Telecom plays, are pretty equal. But I would say that the odds of Misfits winning is 5%. So I think this is a pretty clear for SK Telecom. Royal has been the second strongest team in the world, Longzhu being the first one in my opinion, based on the group stage. And you look at the matchups, Royal has a really good mid laner, which is much better than Caps in Fnatic. Their top laner is probably their weakest point, which is probably not good as Soaz, but Soaz is not going to get to play carry, so it doesn't fucking matter. And obviously Uzi is just going to rape Reckless, and hopefully we're going to be seeing Reckless cry. I didn't get my wish on that, but maybe that will happen in here. So I'm going to pick Royal here. And then we're going to move to Longzhu and Samsung. And kind of shitty system in general that the Korean team's going to be playing each other. I'm going to actually have a video about the whole Worlds format. That's probably going to come tomorrow where I talk about what it would be to implement double elimination. And I will give you a lot of statistics and numbers on. It will be a cool video, at least in my view. But you look at the last best of series that Longzhu played against Samsung during the season, and the last in the LCK, Longzhu did beat Samsung in 2-0. And Longzhu is just better team, and Crown is not performing, so I think this is going to be... I think Samsung might take 2 games. It might even go 5, but if Longzhu is in their best form, I think this will be no-brainer. I think Khan is such a fucking beast, and QV is not a top-tier top laner at this tournament. And then we have WE versus Cloud9. I think this is going to be... I want to say it's close, but I don't... I think this is going to be the hardest thing to predict. But I'm still going to go with WE, because I think WE, obviously, if you look at the wins, Cloud9 was very inconsistent. WE may not have the best mid laner, but I don't think Jensen is going to still play super aggressive. And WE has pretty much good top laner and bot lane, so I think just... It can go either way, but I think I would still say 65 for WE. Okay. And... looking at Longzhu versus WE, I think it's pretty clear that Longzhu is going to beat them. They have better lanes in mid, top, and bottom. It's just clear. And this is going to be an interesting game. This is the game that I want to see. This is one of the most interesting games. And I think this is very close. This might be the second most closest game. As a bit of a Royal fan, I want to say it's Royal. It could be either one, but I think that it's really hard to see which SK Telecom we're going to be seeing in groups. Royal definitely can beat SK Telecom because they've been playing so early aggression, and that's when SK Telecom is the weakest. And if they snowball 3 games, this will be a best of 5 series for sure. And I'm gonna do 2 drafts, because I got 2 accounts. In other draft, I'm gonna pick SK Telecom, but in this one, I'm gonna go with my gut and say Royal. I think Royal, if SK Telecom is as bad as they were in groups, Royal will win them. And then obviously the golden question is who will win. And I think that it's gonna be very interesting to see Prey versus Uzi. And this could be, if this game is going to happen, like this is the ideal thing. Either SK Telecom versus Longzhu. So let's remember, Longzhu went 3-1 against SK Telecom in the LCK finals. So they're definitely going to beat them again. I think they have the mental edge, and I think the meta is pretty good for the bot lane right now. But this game, these two games here, are going to be really, really good games, best of series. But I'm going to go for Longzhu. Longzhu all the way. I think they will beat either SK Telecom or Royal. But there's a world where Royal can win this. Because that's really why I'm saying the Royal versus Longzhu is really fascinating. Because I truly believe that this could be the Chinese year that they actually won in their home. They had the home stage. Royal has been showing really strong. And Longzhu is not like undefeatable. Like, SK Telecom is really good against non-Korean teams, like really good, and they never haven't lost a series against them. And I think because of that, they can beat obviously Royal and make it to the finals. But I think this is going to be the draft. And sorry for making this video a bit too long, but that is my draft. So I wouldn't like go to change it except the fact that maybe Royal wins or SK Telecom makes it a final. But I do believe Longzhu is going to beat SK Telecom in the final again. I think because the meta is not too different from the LCK final. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time on the next video, which will probably come in 2 days or so. Cheers.